Well, hello, my beautiful people of TikTok. Bullhorn Betty coming with another update on Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He he disappeared when he was 15 years old and has not been seen or heard from since. It's nice to see you. I can't see who that is. The emojis, Nikki. Dunny, it's nice to see you. Bev, good morning. Happy Friday, TGIF. Was it LaSalle Sarah? I probably pronounced that really bad. I'm really sorry. Billy, it's nice to see you. Irish Chick, ACC, it's nice to see you. I don't know how many of you guys are watching or following the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case, but I'm Bullhorn Betty, and I cover true crime, and this is a case that really kind of blows my mind. Oh, thank you, Coden. Sorry, I'm messing up names. I got glasses, and we're on a little phone, so your print's like this big. I see Sabrina. It's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. So there's been a lot of drama going on. I'm not sure if it's spilling over here on TikTok because I really do try my absolute hardest to stay out of it. You know, I get drug into enough. I don't really want to interject myself into drama that's created that I'm not a part of. But it seems like all of the work that was done by the mom and her husband, this boy's mom and her husband, with these horrible content creators, are starting to implode. Hey, SPED teacher, it's nice to see you, my love. I hope you're doing well. Debbie, good morning to you as well. Good morning, guys. So I don't really know what's going on, but I was busy literally all day yesterday. Yesterday was it was a whirlwind for me. And so I saw bits and pieces of stuff going on Twitter and on YouTube. And, you know, we have this, I can't really go into the details of anything related to the federal lawsuit, but we have this federal lawsuit that this unscrupulous PI decided to literally intervene in, and he's caused nothing but problems. Well, he's just recently, along with one of the creators here that conned people out of Blipboard money for this case, have deleted their X accounts in their entirety. They're gone. And I believe they're hiding information relevant to the federal case that will be going on in Pennsylvania. It's already been started and what have you. That's kind of my stand on it, because these are two main players, two defendants in that case. One that willingly walked into it and now is saying, oh my gosh, let me go, uncle. Well, this was not like the last twist and turn in this nonsense. This unscrupulous PI that was hired by the mom and her husband paid them, according to the Lore Lodge, and an interview this unscrupulous PI did on the Lore Lodge, a YouTube channel. He states he was paid an exorbitant amount of money. I think it was like $10,000 or $15,000 to search for this child. Well, if you went and looked at his X account, he's deleted it, but there's a nuance to it. So he can reactivate it within 30 days. And so I truly don't believe he's gone. And it's so funny, all of the defamation he has done to this innocent father, Seth Rogers, which is Sebastian's dad, his entire team. He called them every name in the book. He put out bunk information about them. All of this stuff. And then we find out yesterday, now while Hong hasn't been served according to his X channel, there were pieces of paper being passed around from California where this douchebag literally filed a protective order on a guy he's never even seen. This is like a play right out of Chris and Katie's playbook for me. I'm just sitting here. It's like, you know what? What did he put in that affidavit? And why are these courts not, stopping some of this stuff? There's perjury out there. These judges go in here each and every day. Nobody is being charged with perjury, yet these protective orders are literally destroying people's lives for no other reason than to intimidate them and shut them up from their constitutional rights. So why are the judges not being more strict on this and making sure that they attach perjury or arrest them for a crime of perjury, lying intentionally and willfully, maliciously lying on protective orders? Because again, all Hong has done is just throw back some of the stuff that this unscrupulous PI has done. Hong didn't know this guy. This guy started attacking Hong first. So Hong started giving him a taste of his own medicine, and then he shuts his Twitter account down and decides to go file a protective order on a guy he's never even seen in the flesh. Much like the allegations against me. Many people don't realize, up until I went to court, I never saw Katie, Chris, or Maddie in the flesh. And the only reason why I saw Terry in the flesh is because he was following me, not the other way around. We've got him on camera circling my car while I'm dealing with a law enforcement officer in the Sam's parking lot. That's the only reason why I saw him in the flesh. I didn't want to talk to these people. I didn't want to see these people. I went out of my way to make sure I avoided these people. And so now we have the same type of scenario going off with their hired PI, by the way. Their hired PI. And their hired PI is doing exactly what they did, except he's doing it to Hong, that's never even been in the state of California. So I'm just scratching my head, just wondering what in the ever-loving crap is going on in this case. If this unscrupulous PI can't get attention on his channel, he's going to get attention somehow. He is one of the biggest narcissists right next to Christopher Proudfoot, I truly believe. I've never met two peas in a pod. We'll chat later after the book. It's Friday already. I gotta go back to school. Oh, you have a great day, love. You have a great day, love. I'm glad you got to come in here. I'm glad I got to see you. SPE teacher is just a beautiful soul. I got to meet her personally. She's just a beautiful soul. So I love seeing people that I've personally met. Do you think UTI find some kind of dark secret on you? Know who defeat family? And it didn't quite make sense, but I think I get your idea. I think he's going to end up turning on his clients because that's kind of his MO. So at some, hey, me and you, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see you. Sadly, they aren't even talking about Sebastian in Tennessee anymore. It's sad. That's why we don't trust mainstream media anymore. They're in there for the stories, the clicks and the views. They tell the information and they move on, right? It's a lot different on social media when we advocate for people. But if it's not for social media, these cases would die. And that's the at the end of the day, that is the name of the game. These cases would die without social media. Thank God social media is here to keep these things out there. Guys, give me just 1 minute. Sorry about that. If I don't have it on silent and somebody tries to call in or anything, it freezes up my channel and I can't see you guys, even though you guys can see me. Yeah, so I think I'm getting the gist of it. I feel like the unscrupulous PI would, in fact, flip on him. Like I said, it's his MO, and he feels a little raw. He feels jaded, right? He feels jaded by everybody. He none of these people were really in this game. Well, I guess he got in the game about September, October. He was a little late to the party, even though he's this world-known unscrupulous PI. The only thing that he's known for, oh, thanks, Sabrina, is his nonsense, right? His shenanigans. And that's why a lot of these families that are desperate to run interference, they reach out to this hit team. This is what they're known to do. It is a network of people. You guys saw it being developed, if it wasn't already developed in the Summer Wells case, and then now it's just spilling over. It happened in the Layla Santinella case. It happened in this case. It happened in Quentin Simon case. These people are animals, and they don't care who they hurt. All they care about is the drama, the clicks, the views, the chaos that they bring. And then they try to blame everybody else for their bad behavior. And now we have somebody that was, getting somewhat recognized on, oh, thank you, Cooper. It's nice to see you. Somewhat recognized on social media or on YouTube. And then it's like, they weren't getting enough attention. And then they started panel hopping and trashing Seth's team and all this other stuff. And it's like, I don't have time for that. You know what? If you have time to complain, you have time to search. That's the way I look at it. We have the opportunity to be upset. We have the opportunity to be angry at one another. We have opportunity, if we chose to, create chaos or whatever the case may be, from content creator to content creator. Most of our victims don't have that opportunity. And when you make it about yourself, I think that's very selfish, because you have an opportunity to breathe air. We don't know whether Sebastian is or not. And that's what's so disheartening about some of these things. So are detectives still investigating daily to find him? Kinsey, I personally don't know, because we're hearing, we haven't heard from anybody in over a year, okay? From the sheriff's department. In over a year. They don't, I don't know what they're doing. On the other hand, we have the father that says that he has all faith, that law enforcement is doing everything they can. But my only criticism and skepticism, in all fairness, is why aren't there any targeted searches? After a year, having all that forensic data, having data from people's phones, from, the geofencing and stuff like that. You would think that they would have some areas that they've identified that may be ripe for searching, yet we've heard no searches going on in Hendersonville, Tennessee, outside of that first week. And I just keep asking myself, how are you going to find someone if you're not actually out there looking for that someone? Whether he's deceased or not. If he's deceased, then they should have some targeted areas, or if one of their theories are he's deceased, they should have some targeted areas that they should be looking in and trying to find out whether or not he's there or not there, were there some ground disturbances or not. If they believe he's alive, what are they doing to search for him in a, the sense that he's alive? How are they trying to track him down? Of course, we're never going to get those details, but we should have, at least in a year in, seen or heard or had rumors by now of targeted searches or a large police presence in an area that nobody knows why they're there. We have all of those types of things that go on regularly, and we're not hearing that in this case. So I honestly don't know. I want to have faith in law enforcement, even though my faith in that particular community has been shaken because of the stuff I've personally gone through. But I'm praying to God that they're treating Sebastian's case much better than me. But I don't know. He's missing. I'm not. Hopefully they put more effort into him. But who knows? I really don't know. And I don't think anybody really knows the answer to that until law enforcement provides at least a public statement of some sort. But they're not going to, because they don't really care. They don't care about the public. I don't even know if they care about their taxpayers. I digress. I don't know, right? I know that I've heard from their community, and when they approach the sheriff, he's very callous and rude to them. So I don't know. I don't know. I think being in a position where you are voted in, you owe your voters a lot more than he's giving them. But again, that's just my personal opinion. But I don't know what they're doing. I don't know if anybody does. And I don't know if they're still searching. I really don't. I don't know if this is collecting dust. All I know is we had hundreds and hundreds of people, and then all of a sudden we only have one detective. How much work is that one detective under, and how many more cases does he have? Those are legitimate questions. We don't know. It sucks. I'd like to know. I really think CP and KP put him somewhere, maybe like a wilderness camp. Yeah, but it's so hard, because would strangers really stick their neck out this much for them? The way I look at it is they tried to put him in a home back in 2022, and Seth, he had no ability to take him at that time. He wasn't registered in school. It was 14 months waiting list to get him the kind of help that he needed in Seth's area. So they were talking about, putting him in some type of boys' home. And the boys' homes were so ridiculously expensive, they couldn't afford it. That's why they opted for Seth to get him situated, get all the stuff he needed there, and then he was going to move in. And so he finally started making some headway with the online schooling, his rehab type of stuff, is therapy, not rehab, but therapy. And he was about to go. And that's when he disappeared. So I feel like if they were going to put him in a camp or a home or a place like that, they would have done it in 2022 when they were searching for it. The reason why they didn't is because of the cost. They couldn't afford it. I think one of those homes were like $7,500 a month. A month? Yeah, but K plus 8 has a lot of money. I mean, these people, K plus 8, what's her net worth? $8 million? These people don't have that kind of money. And if she did that on her while she was filming, the filming company probably paid for it. Are they searching? We haven't heard anything since the dad was at the restaurant in the mornings. Yeah, we haven't heard really anything. And while I do believe that there is open communication with Seth, you guys have to understand, Seth is having confidential communications with law enforcement. He's not telling anybody what those confidential communications are. And so the rest of us are out here, and we're not going to pry. Anybody that's his friend's not going to pry into the conversations that he's having with law enforcement. I'm just thankful he's having them. But I'm looking at this. I don't know what's being said, but I'm just saying by action, in my opinion, I just feel like they should have at least some type of targeted search, an area that they've identified or an area that they've already done and gone back through. Remember, Elijah Vu in Two Rivers, Wisconsin, where he was found, they had dogs out there, horses, they had people on foot, they had ATVs back there, they had every type of in that specific area where he was found. And a hunter was out there, and I don't know if his dog got loose or what, but he took the hunters over to this area that was, the shrubs and stuff, all this stuff was overgrown at this time. And that's when they found Elijah. That's how they found Elijah. So that tells me that there is a possibility with all the technology, the dogs, everything, that there is a possibility of them searching a place thoroughly and still missing something and someone. Now, in all fairness, Elijah Vu was 2 years old at the time, which breaks your heart even more. So he was, a much smaller something and someone that needed to be found in a big, wide, open space or in shrubberies or whatever. He was just a tiny little thing. He's 2 years old. This boy here, Sebastian Rogers, is 5'5", and he's 16 now. So he might have facial hair. He might be taller. He might have had a growth spurt. There's a lot of things that we don't know about him. But if they do that, why not just say it and close the case? Yeah, exactly. They would get in trouble for, custody interference, and I don't know what it is, if it's a high degree misdemeanor or if it truly, in fact, is a felony. But in Tennessee, I didn't look that far into it. I think we looked into, I think somebody's told me, but I forgot. I think that's more in line with it because I'm almost positive we've touched on that topic once before for some reason, but I forgot, what the, custodial interference. I feel like it's like a misdemeanor, like a high degree misdemeanor, but I could be wrong. Our family, Brandon, went missing in KCK a week ago without a trace. Amanda Sue, if you want to send me some information, send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com, bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I can see what we can find. Casey hasn't done nothing. Aw, I'm so sorry. Well, you can send me your information. I'm happy to look at your case. It's a felony. Nina says it's a felony. Do they know where he is? Michelle, your guess is as good as mine. I mean, I've looked at this case, and the only thing, this is the way my brain thinks. Now, I don't have the information to plug anything in, but the way my brain works is if we're looking at the worst case scenario here, right? Now, this is all theoretical, but if we're looking at the worst case scenario and look up the Devon Bond case. I don't know if I'll remember that when I'm off here. That's why I ask people to send me stuff by email. If you guys have any information, the best way to send it to me is not messages on here. I don't know how to use the messages. It seems like everything is in there and I can never find just the messages. Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong place, but I'm not that techie on TikTok, believe it or not. I know I have a lot of followers, but I never learned the ins and outs of TikTok. So the best way to send me anything is bullhornbetty@gmail.com. But the way my brain thinks is if we're looking at the worst case scenario here and, somebody in his family, let's just remove mom or stepfather or any, identity. If somebody from the family was responsible for, hurting this child, the way my brain thinks is, well, you have to have a disposal method. You've got to try to hide the crime, right? If this is the scenario we're looking at. And if that's the case, people are going to go to the path of least resistance, and 2, they are going to want to go to a place of comfort, something that they know that they can do their business, take care of a major problem, a secret that they don't want anybody to know. They're not doing that in a strange place. They're going to be doing that in a place that they know is desolate or comfortable or both. And so, without those details, like we have no, this is where law enforcement is, they have the way of doing geofencing, getting car information, getting tracking information, having subpoena power, warrant power, and all that other stuff that we, the public, don't have. And so without those details and without a real history on these parents or anybody in the family, I mean, think about it. How many, when we're dealing with these cases, oh, thank you, Jennifer. God bless you. When we're dealing with these cases, we usually have people, coming forward that has known the family. They can give us a family history. They can tell us where people go to school, what their likes, dislikes are, all of these different things. And that is what's lacking in this case. We have none of that history. They don't really seem to have a whole lot of friends. Even the little bit of enemies or the nasty, the people that butt heads with them, like people on Chris's job and some employees for Terry's work, and even Terry's own son came forward and didn't have really a whole lot of nice things to say. We usually have a lot more of that. We have a lot more people in the community coming out like they knew them, they were really, really a great family, or they were really, really an awful family, or we just didn't really get a whole lot of that. So that tells me these people are really, really isolated, which pulls another level of problem on this situation, because if we're going to, if we are looking at the worst case scenario, then we need to look at places that are comfortable to these people. And how are we going to know what places are comfortable to these people when we have no history, real good solid history about them? So that's what makes it difficult for searchers like me and others that go out there. That's what makes it difficult. Where are we going to search? Where are we going to search? And yeah, people are just kind of searching any place that they can search, and God bless them for that. But the point I'm trying to make, and it kind of dovetails back to the other question that was asked about law enforcement, is whether or not, they're doing anything. And that's why I said, I would think at this point, they would be doing targeted searches based upon some of the information that they've received back in those reports, especially related to movement in data, like that about the family or anything like that. Never mind the possible text messages, phone calls, all web searches. Those always come into play in something like this. They are odd and seem long-term paranoid. Yeah, and I don't know what to make of all of this, but I know we don't have any like really strong updated information, just a lot of people causing more chaos to keep this story alive, I presume. I mean, I don't know why people would all of a sudden start bringing chaos when it's like every time we get chaos to settle down in this case, or the drama to die down in this case, it's like, you know, you just can't have that you know, everybody working together momentum. It always has to be somebody throwing a freaking monkey wrench. You're always waiting for the shoe to drop in this case, and it's just really sad, and there's just no purpose. What does it do? It does absolutely nothing but make people look at somebody and say, you're really making this about yourself on the heels and the back of a missing child. That's the way I look at it, you know? I've been through hell and back, through a meat grinder. Hell, I've been arrested for shit I didn't even do, right? I never even seen these people. And you don't see me making it about me. Every day I come here and try to put my best foot forward and make this about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. And if I can do that, this whole petty squabble nonsense irritates the crap out of me. It irritates me. Okay? I've got no time for it. And if people pull that crap, I want no time for I give them no time. They're done. When I see that come out in any content creator, okay? Any content creator, that's it. I no longer focus on them. I move on, because now that is showing their integrity and their character. And I judge people on their integrity and their character. So once once I see that, it's kind of hard to overcome that. And so I just cut off and move on. And I think if more people did that, it would correct a lot of this stuff. But I'm not a vengeful person, but I have a long brain. I try to forgive the best I can, but I'm only human. So I think I have still some resentment. I'm not going to lie about that. But at the end of the day, what do these people have to complain about? They're here. And I thought the goal was trying to find information to help aid in bringing this child home. You know, every person out there has the opportunity to advocate for missing people in their area. For example, we have a huge network on Facebook. It's the Bullhorn Betty True Crime page or something like that. I think it's Bullhorn Betty True Crime on Facebook. And it is a private group, but I think we have something like 4,000 or 5,000 people in that group. And a lot of people go in there and start passing around, you know, missing person flyers in their areas. And those are taken, and those are passed out even further. So we do have a network for even the cases we can't, you know, dive into and really advocate, but we still are able to give them a decent platform to be advocated for. So I hope if you guys are on Facebook as well, maybe you hit me up. We have the True Crime, the Bullhorn Betty True Crime group. We have Justice for Sebastian group. We've tried to keep that open in a public account, but because of nasty people and people that don't want to follow the rules, we've had to also privatize that account. You know, in this world where our children are being bullied in school, they're being preyed upon, you know, from our teachers and all of these other things, I think for us adults, the ones that really care about each other in this world we live in, start teaching your children some kindness. Make sure that they're not the bully in the classroom. We just had a 10-year-old girl, an elementary school girl. Her name's Autumn. And she unalived herself because of the bullying. And you know what? I look around and it's like, I got nothing to say other than I've watched some really horrible people that are parents do some terrible things to people. And their children are like sponges and they're watching this. So I hope you guys set a better example for your children moving forward. That's really all I have to say today, guys. I hope you guys are doing wonderful. Those that are struggling, you know, if you need some resources or some help, you can reach out to me at Bullhorn Betty. If you have a case that, you know, a personal case to you, somebody that you know and you need my help, please reach out to bullhornbetty@gmail.com. I am kind of, you know, a little thin right now because I've got several court cases coming up. And I've got just a lot on my plate, but I absolutely will lend you a hand, and I'll put you on a list so we don't lose track of your case and we can advocate. So please reach out to me if there's something going on, and I will be available or try to make myself available. I think the next case I'm going to be jumping into is a case in Virginia, and it's a boy named Jason, and I haven't been able to give his family a whole lot of my time because of Sebastian Rogers, but I do believe that he deserves. It's an unusual case, and it's a very tough case. They have found him, and the parents just aren't believing what law enforcement is telling them. So it's a really I've been kind of mulling it over. I kind of was looking into it really heavy, and then I had to take a step back because of all the stuff going on in this case. And so all this chaos is actually preventing other people from getting the attention they need, because we're here making sure that Sebastian is not being desecrated in this way by these heathens and animals. So anyways, guys, I hope you rock it out with your coffee beans out. Don't forget to be fearless. If you see something, say something. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And until next time, please be safe, but more importantly, kind to one another. And don't forget, TGIF, baby. It's almost the weekend. And some of you guys, if you're overseas, are probably sliding into your evening now. So, happy weekend. Happy early weekend. All right, guys. I'll see you soon. God bless.